welcome to episode 9 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and I'll be your host. This is my podcast as sort of like my knitting group, my chance to talk about knitting because I don't have any real life knitting friends and I don't have a knitting group that I go to, and this is how I get it all out. So yeah, this is episode 9. I am on Instagram as The Lonely Knitter. I'm on Ravelry as Laura Robertson, and I now have a Ravelry group, the Lonely Knitter podcast group on Ravelry, and yeah, come find me in those places, make me a little bit less lonely. Please subscribe if this is something that you want to get notifications of in future. If not, and if this isn't for you, that's fine. There are tons of other knitting podcasts out there and I'm sure you'll find one that fits. Anyway, so thank you very much if this is the first time you've come to see me, and if you are a returning viewer, also thank you, but you will notice that I am not in my usual podcasting area. So usually I podcast from my kitchen when my little girl has gone to bed. So I have a 19-month-old and her name is Ellie, and she is currently awake. It is Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK and my fiance is off work, so they are downstairs and playing, so you might hear the odd little noise. I did not have the chance. Usually I record on a Sunday night and then I will post it on a Monday morning, and I didn't have the chance to do that because we were just crazy busy yesterday. I'll talk about that at the end in my sort of week in review and other stuff bits that aren't knitting related, but I have stayed prepared as I have the last couple of weeks, and I have written show notes and you'll be able to find them afterwards on the Ravelry group. They are not the best, I know they are not the best show notes, but I do provide links to the people that I have bought yarn from, I provide the pattern information for any patterns that I've been knitting, and anything else that I think people might be interested in. There are links there in the Ravelry group. So I'm going to start with finished objects. I'll go with the biggest one first. This week I finished the Payday pullover. So this is not yet blocked, but in my world, once you finish knitting, then you're done. I'm done. So I still have to weave in all my ends and I still have to block it. And when it's blocked, you'll be able to see the lacy pattern on the bottom, and there's also a little lace repeat on the sleeves. Now this is a test knit for Sweater Freak Knits, and over on the Ravelry group I think they still actually need some people to test knit some of the sizes. It was actually a really easy knit. There were a few errors in the pattern, not errors but you know, things, kinks that needed working out, and that did hold me up with knitting it a little bit because I had to stop and wait to see where she wanted us to do what she wanted to do, where she wanted us to go with these things. It is really comfy. It does need blocking so that you'll be able to see this section, and I think it will lengthen out the body a little bit, but that section at the bottom there as well. Other than that, I think it's a really good fit. There is quite a bit of excess here that I would prefer there not to be, but again, you never know, that might get changed in the very end. It's still in testing and I haven't actually put in my last sort of few comments about the sweater, so don't take my word for it on any of that, because I would actually knit this again even with that, because it was a brilliantly fun, easy pattern to knit, and I had no issues whatsoever. I just think it was really fun and easy. There was a lot of just potato chip knitting, as I have heard it called, in the body, from when you separate from the sleeves all the way down to the lace section at the very bottom. I possibly haven't knit it in the best yarn for the pattern. It is a very, very heavily speckledy yarn, and might not be the best to show up the lace pattern bits, but as I explained the other week, this was very much a budget sweater. I didn't have the money really to join in on the test knit, and I really wanted to because I just really, really loved it, and I really wanted the opportunity to join in. And I messaged her and I said, do you mind if I'd love to test knit this size. If you wouldn't mind me having a go, would you mind if I use a commercial, mainly acrylic blend yarn? And she said it was absolutely fine, and let me join in anyway, which was really nice. I can't remember if I have a ball band in here, but the yarn that I used was Sadar Dapple, which does have wool in it, so it has a wool content, and then a high acrylic content as well. I don't think I have a ball band in here anymore. So it's not a yarn that I would love a sweater of, and it is a tiny bit scratchy, but I'm sure it will get used in the winter. It does still need blocking, so I might even get a bit more length out of it body wise, which I would definitely like. This is definitely not a flattering t-shirt or camera angle. I'm looking at this and I feel very shoulders. You know, when you just look at yourself and suddenly think, ooh, maybe not, that was a bad choice. I should have gone for a plain black t-shirt. Slimming. So the next finished object that I have is this hat. I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks ago I posted about the yarn that I got in Bruges. It is not anything special in terms of yarn. It is again a commercially dyed yarn. I only found one shop that had yarn in called Veritas, and they have lots of different things, and I just thought this would be good for Ellie. I like to knit her nice things, but I also like to knit her some nice things out with acrylic, because I do like to be able to just wash them. She is a very messy little girl. She likes to put her hands in everything and touch everything, and this is, I'm pretty sure 100% acrylic. Let me just find, yeah, 100% acrylic, and it is the Bravo Colour Originals. Now I cannot say that, I'm guessing Shashinma. I'm butchering that, but you know, whatever, I can't say it. And I got this just little 50-gram ball, and I used the majority of it on this hat. This is a 2x2 rib hat. It's just a pattern out of my head, and I might have cast on a few too many stitches. I really wanted it to be quite big. I like the idea that she could wear it now, but I like the idea more that she can wear it much longer. She will be able to wear this for much longer, because I can wear it. It's not quite deep enough for me, for my taste, but I could have wanted to, and I didn't have my hair up. I reckon it would fit a bit better. Right now it fits her when I put in a very folded brim, and she does look very cute in it with the folded brim. It's loose, but it does stay on. She was walking around with it. She has a thing about wearing hats at the moment, and she was walking around in it all morning when I cast it off. While she was having a little lie in, she woke up and I was like, oh look, and she was hat, and put it straight on. So it was a winner, and I don't know how much use it'll get this winter, because she has a few hats for this winter, but it will definitely hopefully get used in the future. And it has pom-pom on it, and it looks like it's not very secure, but it is probably on there, and it is the pom-pom I got in Bruges as well. So this is well and truly her Bruges hat from my little trip. And I have one more finished object. It is finished because the knitting is finished, and that is my wool, but it does need a pom-pom on it, so it's not quite. I cast it off and I set it down next to me, and a thought went through my head, and it was, I've knit a willy warmer. I mean, it would be a very impressive willy, I think, if that was the hat you needed for it, but it's not a willy warmer, it's a baby hat. And it is in what I'm hoping will be a large newborn size. I didn't want anything too small, and it is just a 2x2 rib with quick decreases at the top. This again is just a pattern out of my head. It's not anything. I think it's like 52 stitches cast on, 2x2 rib, until I was pretty sure that that was going to be a good hat size, and then I did some quick decreases and cast off. And I think maybe a cream pom-pom on the top would be quite nice. Next Sunday, before I record, I have a baby shower to go to, and it's a joint baby shower, and there's a girl baby and a boy baby, for two mums that I work with. And on the Friday before, so this Friday coming, I am going to a meal before my friend's wedding, and her cousin will be there, who is one of the bridal party. She's the maid of honour, and she's pregnant with a little boy, and I probably won't see her after this meal, because I don't see her apart from things to do with my friend's wedding, and she is lovely, and she has done so much in terms of organising for the hen things. It's really, really distracting being able to see my back in the mirror. She's done loads and loads of organising. She's been lovely. She was so sweet all the way through, and I thought I might make her baby something, so I'm going to knit another one of these. So this one even might just be her one, with a pom-pom on the top for her little boy, and I'm going to knit another one exactly the same. That was a 50-gram ball of this just acrylic, all acrylic brand yarn that I get from my local yarn store. I love it for making baby clothes with. Ellie has a few things out of it, and I just really like it. I did have the ball band in here somewhere, but I am a bit of a mess today. So it is batik double knitting by Stylecraft, but it isn't. This isn't the ball band for this one. This is for another project that I'm going to show you as well. But yeah, this is teal. I think it just said teal on the label when I got it. So I'm going to make another one. This came to 13 grams out of my 50-gram ball, so I can make another one, and if I wanted to make matching pom-poms rather than in contrast colour, then I can. If not, I might make another one and just put it in my little stack of baby things. I usually have a little stack of baby things to give as gifts. I am doing that for this. I have a rainbow set of little baby booties and a lilac, dark purple, dark light. It's a funny, I think it could pull off for a boy fine, little pair of baby trainers that I've knit. So they're just in my little stack of things, but they are the last of my stack of things. So the hats will go with them for the baby shower on the Sunday. So I won't be able to show you any of them because I won't record until after, but I will put pictures on my Instagram. So if you go over and find me as the Lonely Knitter on Instagram, you'll be able to see them on there. So yeah, that's a little baby hat that I've done, and I will do 2 more before next Sunday. So that's it for finished objects, and I'll move on to whips. Trying not to go too fast but not too slow, because my little girl is still up, and when I'm done she'll probably have about half an hour before she wants to go to bed. Well, before I want her to go to bed. When she wants to go to bed is a totally different thing, so I don't want to run over too much over what I was planning. So my first whip that I'm going to show you, because we've just been talking about them, is another baby hat. This is for the little girl that I am giving a baby shower present to on the Sunday. This is I can't remember what this is. I've got nearly a full 50-gram ball of it, but it was leftovers from a sleeveless, short sleeve little sweater that I made for Ellie a while ago, and I thought I'd use some of it up. So there it is, and yeah, I'm just going to do the same. I think this has some cotton content. It feels like it doesn't have very much stretch at all, but it doesn't stop the actual hat from being really stretchy. In fact, it's more stretchy than the others. In terms of that, I've used the same needles and the same amount of stitches, so it does stretch out more. So that's absolutely fine. So that's another one of those, and that they take less than a couple of hours to make. I just have no interest in making them at the moment because I'm knitting something else. I was not going to start knitting this. I was going to show you the yarn in the skeins and how pretty they were, and then I was going to cast on after today. I finished the payday pullover and I did not have the ability to wait. I have absolutely zero self-control. I started a fleecy cardigan. So I love the fleecy cardigan, and I bought yarn for it, and I will show all of that in a little bit more detail in my stash enhancement section. But this is the main colour, and I'll talk about what yarns they are in my stash enhancement section. This is colour B, which is this gorgeous, and then this is the pop. So here we go. I'm knitting it on symphony needles, and you cast on for the neck, and then knit down the yoke, and I'm about to lose a stitch. And here it is. It's not knit in one piece. It's a cardigan. I mean, it is one. Blah, blah, blah. It's not knit in the round. It's knit back and forth. It's a cardigan. So that's the 2 fronts, and I've got a ton of ends to weave in. But I'll just show you the back because it's easier to see the pattern. I'll spread a bit out. I don't want to lose my stitches off the needles, and I have done. This is where you'll get to see me have a mild panic. No, there we go, that's fine. Let's see if I can spread this bit out without being drastic. So, there we go. So you can see this is where it starts at the top here, and then it gets to here and it repeats itself underneath. So I am now starting these bits down at the bottom. So I'm very nearly finished with the colour section of the cardigan, and then the rest is all in the main colour all the way down, and I absolutely love it so much. I think it's beautiful and it's such an easy pattern. Now I genuinely didn't think it, when I looked at it I was like, it's so pretty, but it's colour work and I don't have the best tension with colour work, and my float's always too tight, and oh, should I? I did, and I'm so happy. It is evening out. My tension has evened out as I've gone. So if you can see, this piece here looks quite even, like all the stitches, none of them are like caught behind each other, but this piece here is a lot more bumpy in between. So it has evened out as I've been knitting, but when it blocks, hopefully all of that will completely flatten out on its own. I'm so happy with it, but the trick with this in the pattern is that you only knit one row of each colour at a time, so you never sit there with two colours on one row. It's all one row, one colour at a time. So it's not daunting at all once you get into it, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, it's the Floozy cardigan, and it is by Libby Johnson, and she's down as she designs under Truly Myrtle, and it's such a good pattern. It's really easy to follow and read, but also when there's a few stitches in there that are things that I've never heard of, like the way she does some of her stitches for the colour work, and there's a link so that you can go over to her website, and she has YouTube videos that she's put up there so that you can see exactly what she means, and they're really clear. So I mean, that kind of support with the pattern I just think is brilliant. So I'm really enjoying that at the moment. It is going to stall a little bit because I'm going to have to do those two more baby hats and pom-poms, and maybe another little odd thing, I'm not sure, for the baby showers, or joint baby shower. But other than that, I can't see myself knitting on anything else at the moment because I just absolutely love it. Before I got started on that, I did do a little bit on my slip stitch socks, and really a little bit. I think when I last podcast, I had come to the end maybe of the ribbing, and so this is what I mean by a little bit. It's not even one full repeat of the stripes, but this is the slip stitch pattern. I'll get a little bit closer. You can see these running, I don't know how well you can see it, there we go, running slip stitches down the sock. This is the second sock. I showed the first sock last week, and it is knit from East of 3 hand-dyed yarn I got from Etsy a while ago, and I'm doing contrast heels and toes from a Patterns Diploma Gold 4-ply. They sell tons of in one of my local yarn stores. So I'm using that for the contrast. I don't have sock blockers. I would love sock blockers, but my yarn budget is very limited at the moment, so I mainly use it for buying yarn. Hopefully at some point in the future I will get some. This one is a little bit tight because I'm an idiot and I did not increase the stitch count I would normally knit for a pair of vanilla socks, even though I'm doing a slip stitch pattern, which does make them a little bit tighter. However, I can still get it over my foot. They are just for me. They are nice and comfy. On the actual foot, they're actually really comfy, and they're a nicer size than my normal stitch count. It's only where this part, just before the heel, and then where it goes across my heel and the top of my foot, that it's a little bit too tight. But it will block out, I'm sure, a bit more, and it is fine really. It's not enough for me to actually bother about, and if I couldn't wear it, I would rip them out. So those are all the whips, all the things that I've worked on this week. So I'm going to go straight into stash enhancement. Can't believe we haven't even got to 20 minutes yet. First thing I'm going to talk about with stash enhancement is the yarn for my Floozy cardigan, because I didn't talk about it when I talked about the Floozy cardigan. So the main colour, now let me just say first, as I have mentioned many times before, I don't have a massive yarn budget right now. I'm hopeful that that will change at some point in the future, but I am very happy with my lot. I have still got disposable income to spend on my yarn, and I don't think there is anything wrong with maybe having to be a bit more budget for a few years. So I really wanted to knit the Floozy cardigan, and I looked at some of the kits online, and there was nothing in my price range. Like, I was talking like £190 on one of them. I looked at it and I was like, oh, they're so gorgeous, and brought up the price and I was like, £190? I can't, man. Like, I'd love to. I can't afford it. I found some other kits that were around the £100 mark. It's just not possible for me right now. So I'm not saying that those aren't good enough, and if you have that in your budget, man, just Google floozy cardigan knitting kits. There are some amazing dyers out there that have done some amazing work. But I had to pick my budget option, and I am very happy with it. So I have a little list, and I might share this list at some point in the future, but I have a little list of yarns that I would like to try, patterns that I would like to try, bags that I would like to have from certain people. For example, I would really like a fringe bag, one of those ones that everyone has that they put those pins on. I would love to collect the pins. It's not like, maybe in the future, like, it's not something I'm ruling out. It's just, it's on my list of things to do, but right now I can't. But as soon as I can, I'm buying one of those fringe bags. Mrs. Brown's bags, she was on my list, and now I've got one of her sock sacks. So, you know, it does happen. I am getting through my list very slowly. So Cascade yarns are one of the things that I want to try, and specifically Cascade 220, and I think they have a DK weight, I'm not 100%, and then also Cascade Heritage sock yarn. I'd heard really good things about it. It was on Love Knitting for $7.99 for 100 grams, and I have never bought anything through Love Knitting before, and so they had a discount on there for 10% off. And then they also had, for coming for your first order, and they also had free delivery if you spent £25. So I decided to buy 3 skeins of this, which is Cascade Heritage sock yarn, and this is in, it says it doesn't have very attractive colours, names, but on the actual website I think it was like mustardy. I can't remember what they called them, but on here it just says colour 5652, which is a bit sad and disappointing, but it is a gorgeous mustard sort of colour, gold. It's coming up a lot more gold on there, like it's blowing it out a little bit, but maybe that's better. But yeah, I love it, and it's not actually something I would normally wear. I normally go for dark colours, and then I'm always a little bit disappointed when I see other people with their amazingly bright coloured things, and I think, wow, I wish I'd had the courage to do that. So this time I am doing that. So I've got 3 100-gram skeins of this. I've got 1 100-gram skein of this. It was called Grape on their on the Love Knitting site, and it comes on as 5706 on the tag. Very attractive. So these are all 75 superwash merino and 25% nylon. 100 grams is 400 meters. So standard, but they are so soft for a commercial yarn. I'm really happy, and for $7.99 for 100 grams. I know they are just plain, they're not like variegated yarns, and their hand paints can be more expensive, or are more expensive, but this is very soft, and I'm really happy, and I definitely, this is what I have left, because I am done now with that pop of colour. It does say in the pattern you only actually need a 20-gram mini skein, but I didn't have one that was suitable, and I thought, well, I might as well get this with those to make me over £25 so that I can get the free delivery. But I am really happy with this. It's definitely going to get used up, and I have tons and tons left. I did go from the outside because I knew I wasn't going to have very much, and I didn't really fancy rewinding it. I'm having a few issues with my ball winder and my Swift, to be honest. I've got one of those plastic blue Swifts, you know, the ones that they make loads of noise, and they've got like, they're all made out of metal, and they've got this plastic tubing, blue plastic tubing around it. Again, I would love a more expensive Swift. I've had it for, I got my Swift and my ball winder for my birthday when I think I was 20 or 21, and I'm now 28. So, no, I was 20 because I was living at home. I was 21 when I'd moved out. So, 8 years old, and I think they're starting to go, you can see it's all coming out here a little bit, yarn bath. I don't know if you can see on this one especially, crisscrossing a lot, which it shouldn't be doing. Another reason for why I'm taking this from the outside and not the centre, and maybe I need to learn how to pull out a centre pull ball, it's just not working at the moment. And then my B colour is this gorgeous yarn. It is pink and purple, and it has my hair in it. It's pink and purple, and it has stellina in it. It is sparkly, and I should have the ball band in here. Here it is. So it's Elm Tree Yarns. Now I've talked about them before. Elm Tree Yarns is an Etsy shop. She is an amazing talented dyer. The yarn I've got from her I'm absolutely loving. I have another skein downstairs that I showed a few podcasts ago, which I haven't used yet. Then I got this skein. It's the Romeo and Juliet colourway, and it is on her superwash merino nylon and stellina base. 400 metres for 100 grams, and it's 4-ply. It's lovely, and I'm using it as that bee colour, and it changes so you can see all the purples and pinks, but they're far enough away from the grape that you don't lose the grape at any point. Like, see, that's about as dark as it gets. It's coming up so nicely. I'm so glad I picked a hand-dyed yarn for one of the colours, and I think the pop being a solid colour, and the bee choice being the mixed pinks and purples just works really well. I'm really happy with it. But that isn't all I got from Elm Tree Yarns. So Love Knitting was the 4 skeins of Cascade Heritage, so 3 of these and 1 of the grape, and then I just needed the bee colour to go with the others for the fleecy cardigan, so I got this one. Really happy. That's Romeo and Juliet. Now, one of the main reasons I also got that is because I cannot resist a sale. Now, I can't resist yarn when it's full price, but Elm Tree Yarns had a sale, and this was only £12. Now, her yarns aren't expensive. I mean, I've seen, I've paid £22, £25, £28 for a skein of sock yarn. This one cost me £12. That is a sale price. I'm not sure if there's any sale left on there or anything like that, or what's going on there. But normally, £16 to £18 is what I've bought of her. I've bought of her before, and what I've seen on there. She's not massively expensive, but they are gorgeous. So I'm really, really happy with that, and I'm really happy I'm knitting with it. I also got this. I love this. It is in the colourway Moorland Heather, and it is another 4-ply. This is a superwash merino 80%, 20% nylon sock yarn, and Moorland Heather, 425 metres for 100 grams. No, you cannot tell me that that is not the most gorgeous thing. These are really my colours. When I say they're my colours, I love all colours, so actually they're not my colours because literally all colours I love, but I do tend to gravitate towards darker colours for myself, and purples and greens are ones that I just love, and they are so rich in this. And there are some sections that is really, really rich dark, but then other sections where it's always just a speckledy light on the base. For both of those colours it does that. So really, really happy with that, and I'm thinking I've had a shawl in mind that works with just one skein of sock yarn. I haven't knit anything up, I've been thinking about it for ages, and I have no published patterns. I've knit loads of things where I've just gone, oh, I'll do that, and I've just done it, like with my slip stitch socks and my 2x2 rib beanie hats, things that really aren't difficult. My little girl had lots of baby socks when she was first born that we never put on her, and I've never knit her socks since, but I did see on the Knitting Expat Instagram she had some tube socks which she made for her daughter Layla, and I think I'm going to do that for Ellie, because then that way she won't grow out of them super quickly and we'll get more use, which is the main reason I don't knit them for her. I keep squishing this against my face, it's so squishy. It's really weird. I understand that's weird. I was doing it, I was talking and just being like, I'm going to put that down. That is odd. So I got that from Elm Tree Yarns. Now those are the 2 things that I bought from Elm Tree Yarns. This was £10 in the sale. Very good. Those are the 2 things that I bought from Elm Tree Yarns. I have something else from Elm Tree Yarns. Now, last time I bought from her, I mentioned that I would be reviewing on the podcast, so please put in a card for me to hold up if you would like to, but that I would be mentioning it, because I mentioned all my stash enhancement. And she sent a message asking if I would like a giveaway. So I messaged her back and said that I would love a giveaway. and she has given me a prize to give away on the podcast. Now, I have a giveaway going at the moment, and this is not going to be included. This is going to be for afterwards, because I haven't got tons of money to be buying podcast prizes all the time. I will be buying podcast prizes because I'm making podcast prizes and other things, because I want to do giveaways because it's seriously fun. I love joining in other people's podcasts, and I would love it if people want to do that with me. So this is what she's given. As I said, I'm not giving it away this time. It is a Peak District yarn trail kit, and it is a self-guided, it has a card, and it's a self-guided tour for knitters and crocheters, and it's all across the Peak District. It has a little map. I'm not going to get it all out, but it has a little map in there, and then there's some cards in there, and then some Haribo and some tea, which is what she normally puts in with all the packages that come out. And there's what looks like some plastic bags. I don't actually know what that is. I need to get out and have a proper look, but the yarn in here is amazing. It was called Winter at Hilltop Farm. What's in there is a sock yarn from Tree Yarns, if you can read that. And it's so gorgeous. It's got lots of greys, light greens, a little bit of, no, it's not green, it's more of a mustardy yellow. I don't know, it's where it goes into the grey, it almost looks green. But it's there, Tree Yarns. And it's got a list of all these yarn shops in the Peak District. And yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm kind of blown away. When I got it, I almost wanted to cry, because I was like, I couldn't believe that someone was willing to give away something, my little podcast that hasn't been going for very long, and I don't have tons and tons of subscribers, and it's, you know, not that that's, I'm very happy with everything, how it's going, but I was just a bit blown away. So this is going to go away somewhere and be kept for a future giveaway, probably the one after the one I'm running now. And yeah, I'm just really chuffed. So thank you so much. I haven't really got a way to explain how chuffed I am. So if you guys want to go and find some really good quality, amazingly gorgeous hand-dyed yarn, go over to elmtreeyarns.com, but I found her on Etsy, so elmtreeyarns at etsy.com, and check her out, because it's some gorgeous things over there. So I got those. I got, I might have talked about this last time, that I went on the Knitting Expat Ravelry group, and she has a self-managed mini skein swap going on there. It's just got no words, sorry. It's just a thread that's there. She doesn't get involved. Mina, what's happened to me? Mina doesn't get involved. She just put it out there so that people can just do what they want to do. You go on there, you say what you're looking to swap, people say if they want to swap with you, and you go from there. I did, and I got a lovely partner from Sweden. I'm not going to put any information up about her because I haven't asked her. She didn't say if I could say anything, but we agreed to do a mini skein swap. We agreed to swap 12 mini skeins. I got mine all from my scraps. This is mainly, I really wanted to do a Cozy Memories blanket, but I'm using all of my mini skeins for the little hearts that I showed last week that I'm making for my wedding favours. And so I won't have any left for a Cozy Memories blanket, but I need more. I don't want to have too many duplicates of my little hearts. Sort of 2 or 3 of one colour is the max I would want to do. So I have lots of sock yarn in the house that I can make up for minis with, but I don't have tons of minis myself. I have different ones. So I wanted to swap some of my sock yarn scraps for other people's 5-gram sock yarn scraps, so that I can make more hearts, and hey, they would get something in return. And so I sent her 12 mini skeins, and then I put in a couple of extras. So I just put in some Parma violets because they're one of my favourite sweets, and they are not something that I have found everywhere, so you know. And I put in a tea bag that, I mean, I don't drink a lot of tea, but I do get a lot of tea in my packages, and I would like to find a tea that I really like, but I just put in just an English breakfast, I think it was, tea in with hers, and some stitch markers that I had made. Anyway, I told her that I was sending her a few extras in her package, and she said, I've sent you a few extras in yours. Well, a few. She had actually sent me quite a lot more of extras. So these are all the mini skeins that she sent me. And as you can probably tell, there is more than 12 mini skeins here. So there is a few doubles, and she did say she would probably send a few doubles, and that is absolutely fine. They're 5 gram mini skeins of sock yarn, or fingering weight yarn, and she's labelled them all, so they all have what they are on it. So this one is Create with Alibris, Socky Fine in green parakeet, and she's done me 2 of those. And I won't go through what all of them are because we'll be here a while, but there's this lovely blue. Now some of these are going to be so good for some of the men, because especially, I love that colour, especially because I'm making little hearts. Well, this way they get manly hearts. This one I really like. It's in petrol lila colourway, but I think that this is not a fingering weight, or if it is, it'll be a heavy fingering weight. It looks a lot bulkier than the others. And then this I think is the same brand. Hers are mostly commercial yarns. Not a problem. I think they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous colours. Look at that one. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. I sent her half commercial, half hand dyed, because I didn't have tons and tons of hand dyed. 11 and 12. That one's lovely. So we agreed to swap 12. She sent me, oh, I've dropped one somewhere. It'll be in my living room probably. I'm not going to go and find it now. But she sent me an extra, at least 5 extras. So she sent me a few extras as well. So I've got all of these to now ball up and knit into those little hearts. So I really need to get cracking on those. So hopefully next week I'll have at least a few of those done, because we are now, at the end of August, and my wedding is at the end of October, and I'm not just doing those little hearts, I'm also doing all my flowers, crochet flowers. So I have got a friend helping me with those. So I do need to crack on. Oh, and I'm knitting something else for my wedding. I'm knitting a few other things for my wedding. Wait and see. It might not all get done. And so I got those in the post. And I think the last thing I have to talk about, oh well, I do have this. This isn't the last thing, there's another thing after this. I got this notebook from TK Maxx. I actually got it a few weeks ago, and I thought it was really pretty. It just has the pictures all over it. But what I really liked about it was that it first of all has the elastic so it stays closed, because Ellie can't really work this. She just doesn't really understand that it opens if you undo that. But she likes to rip pages out of things. She's lethal. So it's good that it has that. But what I really liked about it is that it opens and lays flat. And that I absolutely love that because of how the spine is. Because it's like a, if you can see, it's like the actual raw edges. There you go. So it opens completely flat, which I love to be able to just write on. So I've actually written a few design ideas for a hat that I want to make, and the shawl I want to make, and just a few notes on the baby rib hat and sizing, how many stitches for what age, just so that I have it written down for next time. So I'm going to sort of carry that around with me and have that hopefully as my book that I have my knitting notes in, and we'll see if anything actually, if I finally start finding so many patterns that I absolutely love and have to knit, then maybe I'll start writing up a few of my own, possibly. So we'll see. So I got that. And the last thing that I went and did was I went over to Hobbycraft. I don't usually go to Hobbycraft. I do usually buy all of my yarns and supplies from independent shops and sources, online sources, because then I feel like I'm supporting an individual rather than a massive chain. But I got this because I just saw it. I actually went in for some stitch marker supplies, which I do get usually from Hobbycraft, and I saw this and I just grabbed it as I was going out. So it is sugar and cream in a hot pink. Well, actually this is called, hot pink. Because I might make some washcloths for Ellie, because she doesn't have any knit by me, and her flannel, she has like 2 flannels, and they just seem to go, I don't know, I wring them out and lay them out, and they're just not that nice. I'm not that happy with how they've aged. So I'm going to make her a few, just knit her a few of these at some point, I don't know when. The other thing that I got from Hobbycraft was this box. I love all kinds of storage completely. So I've put all of my stitch marker making things in here. So I don't have tons and tons and tons of stuff. I only have a few things. But the reason that I have done this is because I was chatting. Well, no, I'll tell you that in the next bit. So one of the main things I got this week, I got these on Amazon for £1.60, just for 100 little press close resealable bags for my stitch markers. And I got a few more little bits in Hobbycraft just to make these stitch markers, these ones, little danglies, a few more jump rings and a couple more gems and things. And I went into another shop that's actually an independent shop that sells jewellery making things earlier in the week and got some other little charms and beads and things like that. I just couldn't get the exact thing I wanted in there, so I ended up getting a few last bits in Hobbycraft and this box, and I love all kinds of boxes like this. So those are all the things I bought this week. That's it for stash enhancement. This is where I'm going to go on to sort of my week in review. There is a little bit of yarny talk in there, or sort of stuff like that, news in my life, stuff like that. But it is going to be a bit more sort of personal side and how my week has gone. So if you are only here for the knitting, which is absolutely fine, then this is where it ends. So thanks very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. But if you would like to hear about what's been going on with me this week, then stay tuned. So I've got my little list because otherwise I will forget. Oh, one thing I really want to talk about was my giveaway that's running in my Ravelry group. So it is up there all now, and you just have to go and recommend me something. So it's a recommendations giveaway. Anything. Literally anything. It doesn't even have to be knitting related. Just go and tell me something that you like that I should try, and I'll put it onto my list. I do have some of my things for my giveaway this week. So I've got the yarn out again. Now these yarns are from my stash. They are ones that I have bought and probably not going to knit with. Not because there's anything wrong with them, but because I have an awful lot of sock yarn, and I thought I'd give it away. And as socks are my favourite thing to knit, I wanted to make it a sort of sock related giveaway. So this is a ball that is a little bit he's been bashing about in the stash for a little while, so his ball band has seen better days, so I'm sorry about that. There's nothing wrong with the wool, and it is Opal Classics and 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and here's the details. I'm not able to see it because of the light, because we've got natural light this week because it's not that late. There we go. So there's the details. So I've got that one, which I really like, and it shows us a little picture of how it knits up. I used to call this the dark tiger yarn because I had another one that looked very similar colours, but a lot less of the black and way dark grey, and way more of the other two colours. And they went together sort of, but they were like kind of like tigers. This is left over from when I used to sell yarn. I used to have a stall at these craft markets, and I sold fabric and opal sock yarn and needles, knit pro needles, and I had a lot of fun. Stopped doing it. I wasn't making a lot of money. It was in my little hometown, Lowestoft in Suffolk, and I had the odd regular customer, but because it was like a pop-up shop in these craft markets and wasn't always there, and obviously the knitters don't know that you're there, and yeah, I always made enough to like cover all my costs and have a bit of fun, but I didn't make a lot of extra. And then I started a real job, full-time job, and my little hobby kind of got squashed, but that's fine. It's not something that I can afford to go back to at the moment anyway. The other thing is so that's my commercial sock yarn, and then I also have a indie dyed sock yarn. This is by King Becky on Etsy. Now I don't know if she actually still sells, but I kind of fell in love with her yarn ages ago, and I bought like 5 skeins, and I've knit a couple of them, and I have a couple left in my stash, and I'm really happy to keep them. And this one is quite similar to another one I've knit, and I love it, but I was like, realistically, am I going to knit with it? And it's probably going to wait a very long time if I ever knit with it, so I am going to put this one up in the giveaway as well. So So it is in her Stardust like group of yarns, and it is called Dream Country, the colourway. 75% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, 5% silver starler, sock weight, 2-ply yarn, hand wash / machine wash cold, 400 meters for 100 grams. So that's that one and that one together, so they're very different. So hopefully whoever wins it, because this is just one prize package, hopefully whoever wins it will have something they like. If they don't like one, they'll hopefully like the other. So there's those two. Then there is these. Now these aren't meant to be part of the giveaway, like this giveaway in particular. They were just something I'm going to pass on because I don't like them, and hopefully they'll go to someone who does, or someone who can pass them on to someone who does. They are Knit Pro Symphony, the little short ones that just you go round and round for socks, and it's a 25cm long circular needle, and they are 2.75mm needles, and yeah, they are specifically for small circumferences like socks. I didn't get on with them, not one bit. I found it very odd. I'm really enjoying Magic Loop, and I used to do DPNs. I learned on DPNs, and I have been on DPNs for years and years. Now I'm on Magic Loop, and I'm very happy, and these are not for me. So these are going in the giveaway. And then the last thing that I have to show you today that is going in the giveaway are these stitch markers. So I made these myself. It has one beginning of the round stitch marker, which is a little dangly, and then it has 5 coordinating snagless stitch markers to go with it. Now these go, I've had them on a 4mm. I haven't had them on any bigger, but they have a little bit of space on the 4mm, so they might go a little bit bigger than that. But yeah, dinky little set of stitch markers. So far what I have in my hands at home is what's going in. 2 skeins of sock yarn, 1 needle that I was not keen on, and 1 set of stitch markers. I'm also buying 1 needle, one of these needles. So I've ordered them into my local yarn shop because I always try and buy from there because she's lovely. And these are my favourite at the moment. It's just the 2.5mm Knit Pro Zings on a 100cm cable or 100cm length, because I use these for my Magic Loop for single sock, and I might possibly have a go at 2 at a time on them as well. So you'll get my favourite needle as well. So get one of these, the one I'm not so keen on, 2 skeins of sock yarn and some stitch markers, and I might possibly, and this is a big possibly, and please don't be cross with me if it doesn't happen, but I might possibly make a project bag. I've made project bags before, and I've shown some before I think in the podcast, and I think I might possibly make one. We'll see. My sewing machine used to always be out and be used weekly, and well, sometimes even daily. Since I've had my little girl, it's lucky to be out once every 6 months. So we'll see if that actually happens, I'm not sure. I think that's everything there. So one of the other things that I did this week was decided what I'd have a go at these like fishing line material stitch markers. So you can see this one hanging off here. I did not make this one. This one was made for me by the man in the little independent joy bits and bobs shop in my town. I explained to him exactly what I wanted to do. He looked at me like I was a little bit crazy. I don't think he's a knitter. He looked at me like I was a little bit crazy, and he said, okay, well all the stuff is at the back there, do you want to go and have a look, and I'll see what I can think of, like that. And I was like, yeah, okay, and I got a bunch of things, and they're in my tub of joy making bits. And when I came back, he'd made that stitch marker, and I was like, that's exactly what I mean. And he showed me how to use the crimp beads that cover the little knot in the fishing line, and all brilliant. So I'm going to have a go at making a few of those. Now the reason that I'm kind of into my stitch markers at the moment is because my local yarn shop, which is a wool shop in Lowestoft, I showed her some, and I was like, do you want some? Because I had all these little sets in my tin. I've got this, just an Altoids tin that has all my stitch markers in, and I showed her some and said, you can have them, because they were in my little sets of 6 and they're all tied together with a bit of wool. And she was like, would you like to sell them here? Like, if you package some up, that's what those little bags are for, you could have a little pin board and we could pin them on, and you can sell them in the shop. So I'm going to have a go at that. So I need to make up a little bit of a variety and a little bit of the stock. So I'm going to try that this week, which is really nice of her. I really appreciate it. Just a nice way to sort of get involved, and it's a really nice shop, and she's really friendly, and she's really open to sort of ordering things in that they don't have in stock. The stores around here don't really sell indie dyed yarns, and I have had a chat with a couple of the store owners about it, and their reason being that they just haven't got the market for it. And I do understand what they're saying. I sometimes go into the wool shop near me on a Thursday, and they have, I think, a knitting group in the morning all around the table, and they're really friendly. And I don't go to the knitting group because I've got Ellie with me and she wouldn't sit through any of that. But they are all very happy with acrylic blend yarns and very happy with their price tag, and unlikely to pay more. That's the explanation that I've been given, and I totally get it. Completely understand. And I used to live in London, and so I've had like the opposite there, where I've been like, wow, this is so pretty. And I don't get to experience that as much anymore, which is sad for me. But I do understand they run a business and they can't afford to be stocking things just for one customer. So that's life. Yeah, but it is a really nice wool shop, and they are really friendly in there, and they will literally just go out of their way for anything. I'm sorry about my appearance. This week has been really crazy. I did not look at that. I've got like a dinosaur spike going on in my hair. I have just been like playing around downstairs with Ellie, and she's been yanking at my hair and stuff. I've been messing about on the floor. To be honest, just this week in general has just been a bit hectic, and loads has gone on. Didn't start my floozy cardigan until sort of Saturday. I worked an 8-hour shift, sort of 7 till 3:30 on Saturday, so I didn't start until after that. But things have ploughed by. Time's just gone as it does every week, and now it's the end of Bank Holiday Monday, and I'll be back at work tomorrow, and it's just gone in like a moment. And then we're having another really busy week this week. Friday night we'll drop Ellie off at my mum's and go to a meal. My friend gets married on Saturday, well, our friend, and it's her and her partner are like one of our best friends. They are both godparents to my daughter, our daughter, and they get married on Saturday. I'll drop Ellie off at my mum's on the Friday. We'll all go for a meal together, all of the bridal party and all their partners, all the groomsmen and all their partners. So my Chris is a groomsman, he's an usher, and so I get invited, and we'll all go for this meal. Then I'm staying over at one of her friend's house, and we're all getting ready together in the morning, because Chris will be with the groom in the morning getting ready. Now all I can see is that on the screen. And then Saturday is the wedding and the party, and then Sunday we'll go back to get Ellie, probably about 11:30, because we're staying over there and eating breakfast with them the next morning. But then 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon I've got a baby shower. Everything's just very, very, very hectic this week. And it's fine. I'm okay with that, but we'll see how much knitting gets done, because I'm not 100% sure. I'm just looking at my show notes, things that we've done this weekend. I mean, obviously I worked full shift on Saturday, and then yesterday we went up to Norwich, and we met a load of our groomsmen, because my Chris has 4 best men for our wedding, and went to the shop that we're getting the suits from, and they all got fitted, because they're all going to, if they don't fit into like standard sizes, they have to be tailor-made, which is fine. They mostly fit in the standard sizes, only a little bit of tailoring to be done. And then I went and collected Chris's wedding band from the jewellers. Got mine last week when we actually went and picked them, and they still haven't got my engagement ring ready. My engagement ring should hopefully be ready on Wednesday, which I'm going back up to the city on Wednesday with my dad and my brother for them to try on their suits. So I'll hopefully be able to get my engagement ring back. They're resizing it for me because it's gone down 2 sizes. So I've lost 4.5 stone since I've had Ellie. It's been very slow going, and I at one point had lost 5 stone, put a bit back on over last Christmas, and I'm still trying to battle that off. And yeah, so it's been very odd going around. I've got a tan line on my ring finger, as you can see, and I twiddle my engagement ring. I didn't really realise how much I did it until I didn't have my engagement ring, and I've been sitting there doing this to my finger all the time. There's nothing there to turn. It's been really annoying. So hopefully I'll go and get my engagement ring. And this t-shirt looks really big on me. I haven't really noticed how much like extra fabric there is on this top until I'm sat here in front of the camera. This is the t-shirt that I had when I was about 5 stone heavier and fit me perfectly. Oh, and that is another thing I wanted to talk about. I have an old knit here to show you. It's going to, well, it might go in the bin. I was going to send it to the charity shop and I'm not sure they'll want it. I don't know, we'll see. It is a cabled like vest, like a cardigan vest, that I knit myself probably about 6 years ago. I was a lot bigger back then. Pretty scary really how much bigger, and I still have a lot of weight to lose, but I'm feeling a lot happier already. But I'll put it on so you can see it's cabled, and I got it was a pattern from, it was a commercial pattern and a commercial yarn I got ages ago. I haven't got a clue, and it closes with a button and it's really long. You can't really even see on the camera, but it goes all the way, you can see in the mirror, it goes all the way down, way past my bum, down my legs. This used to fit so nicely, and the arms are so big, but when I was a lot heavier, this used to be like that, yeah, this was way more, it felt a lot more fitted and really comfy, and I really liked it. But now it's down there, it normally sits like this, it's very obviously too big, and I wouldn't wear it with anything now, which is a shame because I spent a lot of time on it. It was a really simple knit, and it's just really simple cables all the way around, all exactly the same, but I absolutely loved it, and I'm sure it was, yeah, seamed at the side, like awful seaming, you can see there. That's why I like projects knitting the round, is all in one piece, because my seaming's always horrendous. Yeah, I think this is going to go either in the charity shop, well, not charity shop, but the you know, those big bins, and then they'll send them to other places, or to charity shops, I'm not sure. It might go in there. I'm trying to decide. It's very warm. If you were a very big person and you needed a little warmth extra layer, it might be okay. I don't know, it's not for me though, it has to leave, because there's too much stuff in this house, and there's more knitwear coming in, payday pullovers coming this week, and so this one has to leave. So that one's on its way out. Other things that have gone on this week, I lost 2.5 pounds at Slimming World. It's fine, I put that on last week, so trying to knock that off. I'm quite happy with that. And oh, I had someone else on Instagram offer to send me some minis. I put a picture up of what I was knitting and all the minis that I got from Sweden, and a very lovely other person has said that they will post me some, which was so nice. Oh, I didn't show this bag. I have this bag which I love. I have no sweater or bigger project bags. All of my project bags are sock size, because I just used to always knit socks, barely anything else to be honest. This bag is my current sweater bag, and it is massive, and it is a zipped bag, and it's from Cox & Cox, and I got this for a birthday present from my auntie years ago. I don't know if she meant it as a project bag, because I don't think she knew on it. She might have been on it, but it's massive. It doesn't have a handle. It has got these 2 little loops though, so I could make it a handle easily, and it has this pretty little swallow. I want to say a swallow, but I actually don't know what that bird is. It's got a pretty little bird. I don't know why I pulled that out of. On the side here, it's not on the zipper pull, it's on just on one of the tags. So I might take that off and make that into a stitch marker or progress keeper, and clip it onto the zip to make a bit of a weightier zipper pull. But I love this bag, and they don't seem to make them anymore, or at least I can't get hold of them. If you go on the Cox & Cox website, it's just home furnishings and furniture. So yeah, this is my current bag that's housing my fleecy cardigan, because I don't really own any purpose-made project bags for bigger things. Yeah, so I think that's everything that I was going to talk about today. Please do come over to Instagram, follow me, I'll follow you back. I really want to make more knitting friends, and it's just been really fun. The last few weeks I just feel like I've been sucked into this knitting community, and everyone's so lovely. I've just been having a really nice time. So yeah, if there's anyone out there who wants to do a mini swap, I don't have tons and tons of things, but I do have the odd bit, and I would happily swap a few minis with you. And oh, Lay Family Yarn on Etsy, they had on Instagram, they had an update on Etsy, and I went on and I bought a skein, so I will have something to show you next week for that. But they also, I think it was them, the other week were talking about doing a mini skein advent calendar swap, which I thought sounded really nice, because I keep seeing all these advent calendars where you get a mini a day, and I can't afford them, which they aren't. I'm not saying they're not worth the money, because I'm sure they are. I just haven't got that money right now, and if I had that money I would be spending it on that in a second. But Lay Family Yarn were discussing a mini skein swap, and you could decide if you want to do like a full skein for Christmas or a present for Christmas Day. But I just thought that was such a lovely idea. They've run it for a few years and it's been successful, so I've signed up for that. So hopefully you just go onto their Instagram and comment on that post. But hopefully I'll get a swap partner and be able to do a swap for Christmas, which would be really fun, because then all the wedding stuff will be out of the way, and I could definitely use my minis for a Cozy Memories blanket. Or finishing the one I've knit. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I have a very large, partially completed Cozy Memories blanket in my spare room in the depths of all my whips from years and years ago. So I might get that out at some point. Anyway, I've just hit an hour. I can hear Ellie downstairs saying mama. I can't resist that call. If I hear her saying mama, I'm like, oh, she wants me. So I'm gonna go. I didn't really have much else to say anyway today. I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who's joined my Ravelry group and comments on my videos. I've had the odd question, the odd comment. It's been so nice. Message me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, talk to me on Instagram. Like, it's so nice. I feel like part of a community. If many people, I've had more views on my last 2 videos than in the last, like in a week, than I have on any of my other videos, and it feels amazing. But also it kind of makes me think maybe I should put some makeup on and do my hair next time. This is like my mum life hair. Very messy, probably in need of a wash. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm trying not to wash my hair every single day, but if I don't, I get really greasy hair. It's horrible. But yeah, I think that's everything I'm going to say today. I'm going to sign off. So thanks so much everyone who's including me and making me feel like a whole lot less of a lonely knitter. I'll see you next week. Bye!